Now, Republicans recently celebrated a win for their donors after passing the biggest transfer of wealth from the poor and the middle class to the rich. That is, of course, their tax plan, which is kind of like, since we're in the holiday season, it's a bit like reverse Santa Claus. Instead of getting presents, you're going to actually be giving them to your wealthy neighbors. And not just presents, you're going to be giving everything to your wealthy neighbors. Wonderful. So Republicans are delighted. They're like, absolutely, we feel wonderful now that we fucked over the 99% in order to give everything to the rich 1%. But as GOP strategists and researchers are now pointing out, their glee might be a little short-lived. See, they might have a little bit of a backlash, a little bit of a problem. According to Politico, obstacles loom for the party, including a possible government shutdown and Democrats' determination to keep government subsidies flowing to enrollees of the Affordable Health Care Act. So, in one of the previous segments, they got rid of the individual mandate. Now they're taking aim at the subsidies. Those subsidies help regular people be able to afford health insurance. So here we go. See, when it comes to poor people in the middle class, man, Republicans are like, they don't deserve any subsidies, man. Let's give it all to the rich. Bootstraps. Here, middle class people, poor people, here's your fucking bootstraps. Merry fucking Christmas. Ho, 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 suck my dick is what they're saying to you. Basically. Look, and again, the reason that they're targeting these subsidies is because they're paid for by the rich. What Obamacare set up in their tax structure is actually incredibly progressive, meaning that it's a progressive tax system. The richest pay to subsidize the middle class and the poor so they can get health insurance. Okay. Now, Republicans, of course, they see this and they're like, that is redistribution of wealth. We hate redistribution of wealth unless it is from you, the poor and the middle class, to the wealthy. Then we absolutely love that kind of redistribution. Now the article continues. Among Republicans in House of Representatives, the fear is that Democrats will insist on the subsidies in order to keep the federal government from shutting down, an act that could have disastrous political consequences for the president and the GOP. And it should. But look, as I'm going to get to, like, this article is like, oh, the Democrats stand in the way. What Democratic Party are you talking about? But I'll get to that in a minute. Now, this is how bad it's looking for the Republicans, at least according to this article. This is Republican Study Chairman Mark Walker of North Carolina. He said, quote, "It's kind of like leaving a hospital finding out that you're cancer-free and then getting run over by a Mack truck." Now, Walker says he is pleased with the tax bill, but horrified that Republicans would even entertain the notion of enacting the subsidy payments. Now, look at his perspective, right? He is horrified that rich people would be forced to subsidize poor people, and he compared it to getting hit by a truck. Oh, the disdain for you that they have. It cannot be measured. How dare they make us pay for the rabble? I do declare. Those Democrats better not shut down the government over those poor people. God, they hate you. Like, that's what you got to get through your head, man. They despise you. Unless you're rich, unless you're writing their and signing their checks, they despise you. They do not fucking care. They do not care. Now, Mitch McConnell, look, he knows, right? He knows how disastrous this would be if they stopped the ACA subsidy payments, right? So earlier he's like, hey, man, look, we got to give them something or else they're going to rebel. We already passed the most unpopular tax bill in the history of tax bills. We got to do something or they're going to fucking riot. So here's what they're going to do. They floated the idea of offering the subsidies as part of a deal to avert the shutdown. You know what Republicans did? House Republicans specifically. They have rejected the idea outright. They're not interested in making a deal. And let's be honest, here's where I'm going to come after the Democrats, right? I do not see the Democrats having a backbone. Congressional Democrats with the exception of a few progressives, have this habit of snatching defeat out of the jaws of victory. Look, politically, challenging them on the subsidies and saying, yes, we are willing to not fund the government if you do not guarantee that these millions of people who are on the ACA that depend on these subsidies can still receive those subsidies. If you cannot guarantee, if you cannot promise, you just gave 1.5 trillions of dollars in tax cuts for the rich. Are you going to say that we don't have money now to fund these subsidy payments? You just gave all this money to rich people. You should be able to guarantee this. Now, are the Democrats going to go out and say that? No, absolutely not. I don't believe so. Again, this is a slam dunk, right? Look at the optics of it. But no, I'm pretty sure the Democrats are going to find a way to fuck this up. And that's not the only thing the Republicans are worried about. Now, Politico's Rochelle Bade and Seung Min Kim wrote, that's to say nothing of January, when Congress is expected to raise strict spending caps without equivalent cuts and potentially offer deportation relief to dreamers. Both could repel the conservative base even more. That's why Republicans have reportedly started calling next month's agenda the, quote, shit sandwich. That's what they're calling it, man. This is the Republicans fight. They're like, oh, fuck. We've got this and we've got this. The Democrats could actually come up against us. And if so, well, that's a shit sandwich. In fact, even Paul Ryan is warning members of the House Republican caucus that, yeah, even though they got their win on taxes, they may have to cave on Obamacare subsidies. This is Paul Ryan saying, look, guys, we might actually have to give the Democrats a win this time. And again, House Republicans are like, fuck off. No, we're not going to give them a win. We're going to hold fast. You know why, right? It's because we're going to win this anyway. Because the Democrats are too weak and fleckless to actually put up a real defense. So, and look, that's because Republicans are strong and the Democrats bow down despite having massive advantages. You've got the Republicans here ready to eat a shit sandwich. But, of course, knowing the Democrats and how they negotiate, they'll probably first end up smearing all over themselves and then eating said shit sandwich. That's the Democrats for you. Look, they've already given up the fight over the Dreamers when they could have actually forced the issue. And it's because we've got conservative Democrats, right? People like Claire McCaskill. Now, she said about forcing the DACA issue, right, on the spending bill to keep the government open. She said, quote, we've got to get it done, but I'm not drawing a line in the sand that it has to be this week versus 2 weeks from now. Kick the can down the road. Let's kick the can. Let's kick the can. No, we can't be strong at all. We cannot force a government shutdown. Here's another one. Senator Tim Kaine, Virginia, says, quote, I will exercise every bit of leverage I can for the DREAM Act. But if there's a vote that could lead to a shutdown, that's where I draw the line. They're so fucking weak. Dianne Feinstein. She's senator, California, most liberal state in America, right? You know what she's gonna do for the Dreamers? Is she gonna force the issue? No, absolutely not. She does not even want to start the fight. She's like, no, can't do that. Can't do that. No, I'm not gonna risk a government shutdown that could play incredibly advantageously to the Democrats and look bad for President Trump. I mean, do you want to be the party out there that says, no, DACA recipients, we're not going to let them stay. We're not going to do anything about the Dreamers, despite both Republicans and Democrats, majorities of both parties and independents saying that, yes, the Dreamers, we should do something about them. We should allow them to stay. Again, these are people who came here with, who were brought here through no fault of their own. Even Republicans say, yes, we should allow them to stay. They're working, they're paying taxes. That's absolutely fine. Yes, we should let them stay. They've proven that they can work hard. The Democrats can't even stand on that issue. That has majority support. What a weak party. They're so weak. They're spineless. They're spineless, man. If they're not going to fight for the dreamers, what makes you think that they're going to fight for any damn thing? So, here's what we have, man. We've got a monstrous party in the Republicans. Monstrous. With that are passing incredibly unpopular bills. Again, it wasn't even 30% approval rate for that tax plan. They rammed it through anyway. They don't care. The president himself has a 36% approval rating. They don't care. They don't care. They're shoving everything that they can through. Net neutrality. 83% of Americans were in support of net neutrality. Republicans are in favor of net neutrality. And President Trump appoints Ajit Pai, a known net neutrality, somebody who wanted to eliminate net neutrality. And that's exactly what he did. They don't care. They don't give a shit about you. And yet we have this monstrous party. And what do we have on the Democratic side? We've got a bunch of weak, feckless, spineless losers that are absolutely ready to roll over at a moment's notice on fights that they can actually win. No, man. This is why we need to replace them. We need strong progressives, okay? Because just for once, we need to make the Republicans eat the shit sandwich. It's time we get strong progressives, and it's time we end this madness and put the Republicans in their place. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.